on black. If I studied that facts on.
Welcome back to the Black is the New Rich podcast. It's episode 24. And today we got a very special guest and podcast because this is the first time we're actually talking about cannabis and business. And today, as you guys can see, we're on location, Kronic Relief Grow LP. But I don't want to keep on talking. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay. If I must, my name is Steven. My last name is Conville. I am founder, chairman, and CEO of Kronic Relief, Inc. We are a fully licensed LP, producer, cultivator, processor, and we also have 8 conditional licenses in the beautiful country of Jamaica.
Oh, dope.
And so that is also part of our path and future.
Okay, dope. So before we get into like the cannabis and the business of it, I want to get into the background, like the lead up. How did you get into this business?
Kind of backed into it. It's really weird. 2012, I would say, I wouldn't know a weed plant from a rose bush. And that's like dead. Can I say ass?
Yeah.
That's dead ass honest. Like I just, I wouldn't have known. And was in that state where I was not sure if I wanted to be a company man for the rest of my life. And so I was kind of thinking like, what is it that I want to do? Where do I want to go? And I don't want to get into the nutmeg of my brain, but suffice it to say, I had a thought that the world is not going to be a happy place like the 80s. Fluorescent laces, Madonna, Like a Virgin, George Michael, really tight shorts, Dougie Fresh singing Lottie Dottie.
Yeah.
Like it was, I just felt that we were eventually going to enter a period of tremendous angst and anxiety, the global populace. And I said, I just have a feeling they're going to legalize this weed thing.
From 2012.
Yeah, from 2012. It was just, because if they don't do something, the thing about men in general is that if you track our history, we're really not that nice.
Yeah.
And, every year they have that meeting in that really fancy place in Europe where like the 100 richest people get together. And their biggest problem is we can't stop making money and the world can't stop getting poorer. And that Marie Antoinette let them eat cake. Like, ultimately what protects a home? Really, society's desire to respect the sovereignty of that front lawn. Because if a whole bunch of people show up at even the White House, there's not much that can be done once people have had enough. So my thought here is like, look, you know what? Weed's a pretty nice, calming thing. It keeps people cool,
happy.
And less aggressive. I said, I bet they're going to legalize this thing. That was just my stockbroker looking at the world from a capitalist lens. And so I was kind of like, well, I would have interest in exploring weed one day. Thought. So I was doing some consulting and I bumped into a dude and ended up working on a few projects with him. And one day he overheard a cell phone conversation I was having with a celebrity, and I used to talk to more of them than I do right now. But it's like, wow, have you ever considered getting into weed? And I said, why would I get into weed? It's not legal, right? And he said, no, yes, it is. And I said, what? He said, weed has been legal in Canada since I think it was 2002.
What?
And all you need is a medical license to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But why you will be interested in this medical license is because it is going to be the foundation of the new commercial LP system.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay. Well, to make a long story short, I ended up investing a lot of my money and a lot of family money and a lot of famous people's money
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of my close friends' money in building a weed facility that its future goal was to get its commercial license like I have now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to fund this medical operation, and through funding that medical operation, I would learn about cannabis, be able to study it, and take the principles that I learned forward
And apply it to your business.
and apply it to a future business.
Okay.
So I called Health Canada. They told me, yes, cannabis was legal. And then I was invited to see a facility, and oh my God. From the moment I saw a weed plant live, I absolutely fell in love. I can stare at that thing for days.
Yeah.
I love the way it smells. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels.
Yeah.
And I love the way it makes me feel. Not even consuming the product.
Yeah. Just being around it.
Around it.
The energy of the plant.
It just, and so to this day we have a rule that Kronic Relief is an asshole-free zone. I can say asshole.
Yeah. You're good.
It's an asshole-free zone.
Yeah.
Because as soon as an asshole is introduced into the environment,
mm-hmm.
it affects the performance of the plant. I'm going to drop a little science here. There's a lot of LPs that their prices have gone from all the way down there.
Yeah.
98% losses, 99% losses. And if you go into those facilities, and I have been into many of them, there is no love between the owners and the plant. And people underestimate how important loving that plant is. Because once you love it, it will allow you to make money.
Yes.
But if that baby feels
that negative energy,
and that you are there strictly to extract profit and have no desire to create a beautiful plant, good
you're
luck.
done.
Stick a fork in you. You're done. And so I, on this journey of this plant, and somewhere along the way, what I found out was the plan to make money in cannabis was never about me getting a commercial facility. The plan to make money was on my ability to raise money to subsidize unscrupulous people's standard of living. And that's when I ultimately went from passive partner investor to future owner operator of an LP. I had to make a decision of, you are down several $1 million of your own money and other people's money. And you have to figure out a way to right the ship and get their money back. And it was in that time that I developed the phrase, never, ever base the financial strategy, projections, or business plan solely on the musings of a pothead.
What do you mean by that?
Cannabis people, by and large, are beautiful people, wonderful people, caring people, but not all of them are grounded in solid business fundamentals.
Okay, facts. I agree.
And so many things in cannabis are, this is the way you do it. And when you ask why, well, because Bill said. Well, who's Bill? It's Mark's brother.
Yeah.
Well, who's Mark?
Yeah.
Well, Mark is a guy. Well, what does Mark know?
Yeah.
Mark knows a lot. Well, how do you know? Because Mark's a legend. Have you ever met Mark? No. And then, so then you're just like,
where's this information coming from?
And so, not maliciously, I started to back test all of the information that I was being presented. And
theories and everything.
Theories. And what I found was 50% of them were spot on, dead accurate. And 50% of them were so way out in left field that if you followed them, it would be the end of your business. And it was that ruthless pursuit of the truth, rooted in a love of the plant, that allowed me to create the principles that guide Kronic Relief to this day. And so our company has gone from a legacy market quiet legend to a future star Canadian cannabis LP.
So that's where we are today.
That's where we are today.
Okay, dope. So I was doing my background research, and I feel like we both have Jamaican roots, right? So, and I have a little bit of a selfish question, because I have a grandmother and she's 83 now, and the arthritis is coming, the pains are coming. This is the first year she's walking with a cane. But I remember a couple times I've mentioned, hey, why don't you try the cannabis cream? Right? And there's such a stigma towards weed and cannabis and marijuana. And she's like, no, I wouldn't do that. Da, 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 da. So how can we help our older folks be more susceptible to taking those type of creams?
So this is the number one pain in my heart. Jamaica is synonymous with cannabis.
Yes. Yeah.
And when I did my launch speech at Eden Gardens in Kingston, Jamaica, hotel of the legendary scientist Dr. Henry Lowe, when I did my launch speech there, it was a who is who from PNP, JLP, they were all there. And I said, my fellow Jamaicans, the world has no idea how adverse we are as a culture to cannabis, even though we are synonymous with cannabis. And it breaks my heart that our people have an opportunity to benefit from the economic boom that has come from the legalization of this ancient industry.
Yeah.
However, the dogma that is so pervasive in the Caribbean, Africa, and the broader diaspora, where stuff that has been fed to our populace from 1604 remains. So people in Jamaica do stuff claiming they know England, They've never been to England. And people in England have never heard of what they are doing in the name of England. It's insane. And so, you know, when Bob said emancipate yourself from mental slavery, it's no joke.
Facts.
The irony here is, if you said to Granny, Gran, Nana, let's boil you some bush tea. Sit down, drink it, and you'll feel better. She'll say, okay. It's the same.
It's the same thing.
Right? But when you say, if you say weed tea, she'll say, oh, no.
Yeah.
But if you say bush tea, she'll be like, okay. So the point here is the first step, because our prototype pain cream has changed my life and so many legacy sufferers. It has changed their lives. It doesn't smell like cannabis unless you're really good at the aromas of certain terpenes. There's certain weed people who'll be like,
I know this.
I smell linalool, parphenylene, right? But if you're not one of those people, you're gonna smell cocoa butter, mango butter, shea butter. You're gonna smell camphor. You're gonna smell nutmeg. You're gonna smell all kinds of beautiful natural herbs that are healing to the body. You won't even know that there's cannabis in there, and it will change your life. And so, one granny at a time.
One granny at a time.
You know, I plan to make a difference, and I on this topic, I will shut it down. I lost my mom about 6 years ago, and what drives me to this day, she was 78 when she left this earth. If I was as confident as I am today, when she passed, her final 5 years, the quality of life would have been so different. But as a Jamaican man, and I mean a real Jamaican man, and I'm not talking about the, how much gold teeth you have, or like, you know, how low you wear your pants, or I'm not talking about the stereotype. I'm talking about a real Jamaican home where I still would struggle to raise my voice to my father. I'm talking about a real Jamaican home where, you know, I'm almost 50 and I'm still, yes, dad. No,
to respect,
right? To get the courage to say, Dad, I really think mom should, like, it was finding the words, it was finding my voice in a relationship where they respect my opinion, but if they're not asking for it, I've been trained not to give it. And so, it wasn't until my mom's last year that I was like, Dad, you know, we really should try this. We've got some teas, you know, one of our soon to be announced business partners is the legendary Legacy Market tea specialist, and her name is Virginia. But her product line is Mary's Wellness. And I remember buying those teas and bringing them home from mom. Like, I mean, the oxys and the Percocets and all those pain meds that they were pounding
literally killing her. Yeah.
Was it was making her so groggy and bloated and like it was just awful, right? And my dad is like, we need to find out, we need to talk to the doctor, we need to see what adverse effects it was like, and I don't believe in this marijuana. And it was just like this, and then finally my mom went, Vincent. And when that tone hit the air,
he has to listen now.
Everybody's freeze.
Yeah.
I am 77 years old. And if I want to have some marijuana, who are you or the government to tell me no? And she started having little sips.
Yeah.
But by then,
it's a little too late.
She had 5-6 months to go. But I just wish that I had the courage to say, Mom, Dad, stop. What you're doing is not working. And when Mom takes that stuff, she's not Mom. Here are some creams. Here is some tea. Here are some oils. And give me 2 weeks. You trust me with your money. You trust me with your will. You trust me with your house. You've trusted me with our sister. Come on. What do you have to lose? And if I had that courage, man, I'm telling you, I know her final years would have been so different. But she's not with us. And the lessons I've learned then, I am extending over to you. There are topicals. Ours is not going to be in the store until probably winter 2023.
Okay.
But there are topicals out there that are game changers and would make such a difference in grandma's life.
Okay.
And that's from me to you.
Okay. Dope. So now being in this position, right, where marijuana is legal to the public and stuff like that, do you feel, well, you did say 1 gram at a time, but do you feel like a social responsibility to pass this education around to even young people?
So anybody who is 18, 19 years of age and older, I feel a responsibility to educate the public, doctors, teachers, preachers, moms, dads, on the benefits of cannabis.
Okay.
It's not just a recreational party drug. The things that I have found out since I made my journey into cannabis is unbelievable. First of all, I'm one of the few people that doesn't directly smoke cannabis in all of the circles that I've been in. Rabbis smoke. I didn't know. And the thing is I am such a type A, tightly wound, focused dude that driven for perfection, all of these things. So when I announced I was in cannabis, remember the movie? You're probably like, I look why, but it's called Waiting to Exhale.
No, I don't know.
Okay. So when Whitney Houston sang Shoop, right? That Waiting to Exhale. When I said I was in cannabis, everybody was just like, woo! Boy, thank God. Now when I come over, I don't have to go down the block and Febreze. And I was like, I'm like, uncle? Like, and like all the people, like, Reverend? Like,
Reverend.
Like, doctors, police officers, like all of these people were hiding their love of cannabis from me.
Yeah.
Because they thought I wouldn't improve.
Yeah.
It blew me away. So, like, I have a passion for this amazing plant. It's a gift to the earth from God. Mm-hmm. And we will see over time that the war on drugs has robbed our planet of hundreds of years of unbelievable cures and analgesics and sleeping tools and energy drinks and antipsychotics, and the list goes on and on and on. And I just wish that a few people south of the border would pass certain legislation that would then allow the brightest minds in the world, not just to dabble in cannabis, but to full on join us who are already here.
Yeah.
Because the things we'll be able to do for the human race are staggering.
Wow. Okay. Dope. So we're at the beginning stages of marijuana, would you say, right? So for young people trying to invest, trying to get in the game, what advice do you have for them right now?
Okay, so I'm a former portfolio manager, investment advisor. So my advice in terms of investment is the same regardless of what field it is. Number one, especially people who look like me. One of the cultural issues we have, and it's a legacy of slavery, is we have no problem asking about people's sexual habits or asking about this girl or that girl or that dude or whatever. But try and talk to a West Indian person or an African person. Try and talk to them about their will.
Yeah.
The first thing they say, you wish me dead? You want me to die?
Yeah.
What I have is not yours anyway. And then it just starts to like I'm just trying to we need to get into the what everybody else is doing. Like these are important topics. These are important things. So to the extent that young Black people can learn about money, learn about investing, learn about saving for their future, focus on acquiring assets, homes, investment properties, commercial properties. These are things that we must be doing regardless of cannabis. Now, cannabis is in its infancy, so it is therefore speculative. If you're going to make big money, you have to speculate.
Okay.
That's why pick a fucked up place. I can say fucked up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Pick a fucked up place. If you, more than likely, on that plane, going to that fucked up place will be white men. And the reason is they are going to speculate on some resource or some discovery that they are betting big, right? Big risk, big reward. So cannabis right now is a speculative investment. So for those who want to dabble in as young people, it's not where I would recommend they start. And this is my industry. I would recommend they start saving, amassing money, putting it away, grabbing an e-savings account, get a ING, what is it now? Tangerine.
Oh, yeah.
TD has a one. RBC has one.
Yeah.
Alterna has one.
Okay.
Shout out to Alterna. They bank the cannabis industry. Shout out, two
Okay.
shots. So, but they all have some form of savings account that pays a higher rate of interest as long as you're not making a lot of withdrawals. I would encourage them to save, and when you get to that $50,000 mark, then you can start to decide, what is my first real investment?
Okay.
Am I going to go with real estate first? Am I going to build a stock portfolio first? Am I going to, and that portfolio may include cannabis.
Okay.
Now, to get into cannabis as a career, I would encourage Black people to be able to do what I did. Scariest conversation of my life. I'm like 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40 years old, and I'm nervous about telling my father I'm going to go into cannabis.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's giving me the, go on, and I'm just like, I'm sweating, right? But it's a little easier now.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can tell you that I have been able to provide a lot of young people an amazing opportunity that they may not have had in other fields.
Mm-hmm.
And that opportunity, if they continue to progress and stay dedicated, will lead to a very successful life.
Wow.
And so, if you're good with your hands, if you're a precise female or male, why go be a bank teller when you can be a grow room assistant?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, there's a ton of bank tellers.
Yeah.
But there's not that many grow room assistants.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I think about it is, think about Prince Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Does he look like he's skilled at much?
No.
I'm not trying to pick on the royal, but
Yeah.
but he was the #1 polo player in the world.
Oh, wow.
But who plays polo?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, are there 1,000 people worldwide that play polo?
Yeah.
I don't even think so.
Yeah.
How many competitive polo people are there on this planet?
Yeah.
Do you know any polo leagues?
No, I don't.
Okay. So now you think about it. It's not that it's not a skilled sport, but the competition to become the greatest polo player on earth is very few guys.
Mm-hmm.
Probably all of them went to his prep school.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you want to be a basketball player, you have a greater chance of being hit by lightning 3 times than making the NBA.
Wow.
The numbers are bananas.
Yeah.
And let's say you happen to be shorter than 6'5".
Yeah.
It's 11 times. You better, there's a chance, to just, and how many people do you know who's been hit by lightning?
Yeah.
It's an insanely difficult road to take.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure all young, bright Black minds out there who want to be CEO of Royal Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm calling on Royal Bank, and I'm calling on TD Bank, and I'm calling on Bank of Montreal, and I'm calling on Bank of Nova Scotia too. Because I haven't seen a Black face in that chair yet.
Mm-hmm.
But for all of the people who want to start out as a bank teller and ascend to that chair,
good luck.
Again, that's that lightning ratio.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of opportunity for young people to jump into cannabis because the difference between what I know and what they know is only 9 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm only 9 years ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're younger,
Mm-hmm.
faster, in many cases stronger
Mm-hmm.
than me.
Because you started at 40.
Damn straight.
Mm. So now if you're like 24 or even 19 with your mentorship.
Hey, we do it all day, every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day. You know, the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get to watch a cannabis CEO live in action, making decisions that have been made for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
In many cases, for the firm,
Mm-hmm.
and in some cases, in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see the results of those decisions literally in real time.
Mm-hmm.
The distance between the chairman's office and your grow room
It's right there.
is 200 feet.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, if I have an opportunity, you know, I'm sorry if I see one more black female PSW, I can't take it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, like, really, you know, another early childhood educator, come on.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can take care of other people's picnic,
Yeah.
you can take care of cannabis plants.
Yeah.
On the upside, taking care of cannabis plants is far greater than changing diapers. Now, if you want to change diapers and that is your call, that's your mandate, that's your. But most times it's like, I don't know. This is what my auntie did. This is what this is what we do.
I'm doing it for my parents. Yeah.
You know, like, really.
Yeah.
And you see them on the bus, or you see them getting out of their car. They're not smiling. But you know. Sometimes I'm sitting in my office and it's weird. I don't know how I got to be the oldest dude in the building.
Yeah.
I have some workers that are older, some of my trim team, and they're my ride or die warriors. But outside of my trim specific team, you know, I'm the oldest dude in the building, and I don't know how that happened. Right?
Yeah.
Because like one day I was at nightclubs, they're naming nights after me. And,
Yeah.
You know, and I'm coming home at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just changing my tie and going to work, and now I'm the oldest dude in the building, and it's weird. But sometimes I sit back in my office, and it's the sounds of laughter, joy, happiness after people have worked 12 hours of back-breaking, sweaty labor, and they're leaving smiling. Now, it could be that they have one hell of an amazing boss, or it could be that cannabis is a really fulfilling career industry. And I just, so I'm putting it out there. If you're a black person and you're listening and you're talented and you're smart, please consider cannabis over PSWs, early childhood education, or handing out damn flyers, okay? And you know who I'm talking to. Some of you are good at it. Some of you are legends, but most of you are wasting your time. Get a nice career and let's go.
Okay.
Let's get down. Let's get after it.
Okay, dope. So I made an observation the other day. I was downtown. I think I was on either King or Queen Street, and every second store was a dispensary. And I'm like, how are all these dispensaries making money?
They are not.
Okay.
It is nonsense.
Okay.
And it is not their fault.
Yeah.
It is the government's fault. I am talking specifically to our premier now.
Mhm.
You've got an 85, I don't know, was it a shutout? Did they win every seat? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
did anybody get another seat? I don't know.
Yeah.
You have a majority upon majority. You are unthreatened. You're untested. And it's time the Conservative Party, who preaches that they are the business party, start acting like a pro-business party.
Okay.
This makes no sense, and here is the problem. I think it's like 85% of municipalities in Ontario were allowed to opt out of having cannabis in their municipality. It was a cowardly decision. It was like, I'm going to allow dispensaries, but then I'm going to allow no dispensaries. So I'm going to get every vote because these people won't be mad at me and these people won't be mad at you. And what you've created is everybody's pissed. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Because I want to open up a dispensary.
Yeah. They're everywhere.
No, they're everywhere in Toronto.
Yeah, everywhere.
But if you take a municipality, you take a town like Stouffville,
Yeah.
it has way more dispensaries than it should.
Mm.
But that's because Markham opted out.
Okay.
Newmarket opted out.
Mhm.
Uxbridge opted out. So you've got all of these Richmond Hill opted out. So all of the dispensaries that would have been in Richmond Hill
Oh, they're just coming to Toronto.
or Stouffville or Aurora or Brampton,
And they're just packed up.
So I think Oakville said no, but Burlington said yes. So then everything is in Burlington, right? Trying to serve Oakville and Hamilton.
That makes sense.
So this is the nonsense. It's government created. It just should stop. You're pro-business. Why are you being socialist when you're supposed to be the capitalist? I just want to see we're like the third biggest industry now in the country or something ridiculous.
Yeah, wow.
So I'd love them to say to the chartered banks. I'd love them to say the banking sector. You can open up a bank anywhere you want, but it's up to the mayor of Thornhill. The mayor of Thornhill Markham. And the mayor of Thornhill Vaughan, if he will allow banks in their neighborhoods. It just wouldn't fly. And so this is what is causing the nonsense. There are too many because people who had dreams of opening dispensaries are going where they can open dispensaries.
Oh, yeah. So now it's just oversaturated.
And it's oversaturated when if I really wanted to open my dispensary in Thornhill.
But you can't.
I can't. So I open it on this side of Steeles. And then I'm marketing to the people over in Thornhill.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that common sense will prevail. Mr. Ford, you have a clear mandate. You have 4 uninterrupted years. You have every seat in the House. Change the legislation and just tell the municipalities effective January 1st, 2023.
We're all going in.
There is no impediment to dispensaries being open. And what you'll see is the ones who have money left in Toronto, who wanted to be in Richmond Hill, will move to Richmond Hill. The ones who wanted to be in Markham will move from Scarborough. The ones who wanted to be in North Richmond Hill will move down from Aurora. The ones who wanted to be in Newmarket will move up, and it will all balance itself out.
Okay, dope. So that leads to my next question. How does Kronic Relief stand out?
Well, we black.
Yes. Yes.
Listen.
Black owned, yes.
Listen. We are not just black. We are blackety black. and the point is that our staff is cosmopolitan. We got people from Vietnam. We got people from Laos. We got people from China. We got people from Bangladesh. We have people from Portugal. We have people from Jamaica. We have people from all over the world. We have people from Sri Lanka, Afghanistan. We are a very diverse company, okay? But we black. and our staff meetings are black. Our Christmas parties are black. Their holiday parties, they're non-denominational, but they are rice and peas events. They are jerk chicken and curry goat and oxtail events.
Yes, good, nice.
And it is unmistakably, unapologetically a black company. Now, what does that mean? Well, my heritage is Jamaica, and you know what it says, out of many, one people. So we are loving of all cultures, we are welcoming of all cultures, and we are a happy place to be. And so what do I mean by this? There are certain things that are welcome here. Singing is encouraged. And you will hear some good, some not so good. But if people are happy and they're feeling the spirit, they will be singing while they're doing their work.
And it's encouraged.
It's encouraged. Individualism is encouraged. There is a laughter component that is distinctly West Indian. And what I'm trying to say is that when you're in Jamaica, right? Or when you're in Trinidad or Barbados, or when you're in Nigeria, shout out to the Nigerians. You know, we just are different, and it's not a bad difference. It's just a unique difference. So that barbershop culture where after your shift, people often congregate, sit down, tell 5-10 minutes of jokes. Now, I mean, everyone wants to get home. But just unwind and be yourself. Make fun of two people in a kind-hearted way. And that celebration of food and culture encourages the Asians to feel comfortable. They cook their food, they bring their food, and if someone is looking a little malnourished, they'll start sharing the food. I can't tell you how many times someone's stuffing a banana in my face or something like that. And
it's bringing our home to work.
Yes, and it is just something that is unique, and that cultural paradigm also is reflected in how the business is run. I know that you know that there is no such thing as personal best to a Jamaican sprinter. No one goes back to Jamaica. I got 16th. I run my fastest time. And people are like, that's the wrong event for you. Because if you are going to the Olympics to come 16th, you're really not for the Olympics. And so that's why, like, even our bobsled team, they're people don't understand. They're training to win. They're not training to come like, they literally are like, we are going to medal. Or we're going to die trying.
Win or go home.
And that is also part of the ethos of this company. We get after it. We get about it. We crop 52 times a year. We are among the largest genetics holders in this country. And we're not talking about like, oh, we have we have close to 1,000 different strains that we have on site.
Wow, jeez.
And that's due to my mindset. I'm driven and I'm wired to be the best. And we may never get there, but that's our goal every day. And it shows. It shows. We are passionate. And when we hit it right, we celebrate it in a very, very West Indian way.
Okay, that's dope.
And when we get it wrong,
you're gonna hear about
oh yeah. The man them got 2 hours of me yesterday. And if you were here, it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But they got it.
Yeah.
They got the message. So when our product debuts, so we're going to be with Artisan Batch, and that's through Indiva. They're our partners. We're bringing out our legendary legacy market strain, our Kosher Kush. It's not like some of the other ones that you got before that made you sad. It's a face ripper. and I'm really, really excited that we'll be debuting there. And we have the honor and the privilege to grow for industry legends, Ghost Drops, CEO over there, Gene, and their head of sales, their Paul, and their other executive, John, and obviously Organic Hip Hop. Shout out to that boy there. He's a legend in a couple of spheres.
Dope. But
to have an opportunity to grow for them, the number one SKU in the nation, sometimes it might fluctuate in and out, but this is like a top 5 Canadian industry company as far as cannabis goes every single week. And for us to have the opportunity to be one of their 10, 20 growers, it's a big honor for us. And we defend that honor, and we grind to try and get the best product in their hands so that the Canadian public can be treated every single time. And working with our boys at the OCS, I'm really, really, I don't know, I'm not gonna get into politics, but we have an amazing category manager, and his junior. The two of them are freaking awesome, and
dope.
We're looking forward to bringing out 3 strains at the OCS in the near future. And so we'll have four of our products on the shelf with our name on it, and then with First Class Funk, Z Splitter, and now they're going to be launching, I think next is King Sherb, if God willing. I think they've secured one of Sherbinski's best cuts.
Dope.
We can have 7 strains that are affiliated to us out of the market, and we're rookies, year 1.
Wow.
Year 1, we can have 7 on the floor, and that's a testament to my team, their hard work, and them trusting in my vision. But we as I said, we get after it, we get about it, and we're really excited about the future.
Okay, dope. So I have a stock portfolio, and one of my cannabis stocks are taking a massive hit right now.
Okay.
I know it's part of like the stock, everything's down right now, but would you say that investing in cannabis is still a good long-term play?
Depending on which stock.
I have Canopy.
Canopy is that's a tough one. And I'll there's a legendary US equity portfolio manager by the name of Larry Sarbit. And Larry Sarbit invested in Waste Management Co. It's his largest position.
Okay.
And he started his investment speech talking about how shit Waste Management Co. was.
Yeah.
And he trashed the stock for 40 minutes.
Wow.
I couldn't take it anymore. I put it in my hand and I go, sir, That's your largest holding, and all you've done is trash them. He says, exactly. Because they're too big to fail.
Oh, jeez.
Waste Management Co. picks up 97% of all garbage in North America.
Oh, jeez.
And as a result of that, as much as I hate their management, hate their process, hate their systems, hate, like, here, he goes, it's my largest holding because they're the biggest. So, Canopy has Constellation Brands behind them, and they're the owners of, they're one of their more famous brands is Corona beer. They're an alcohol beverage company, and Constellation Brands has a big position in Canopy. Can I honestly say I like anything they've done since inception? No. But if you've been beaten up on that stock, that's one that is worth holding.
Okay.
Right? And again, that position could change 2 weeks from now. Like, some news come out and they're like, oh shit, they're done. Right?
Yeah.
But a lot of other stocks, depending on what they are, sometimes you just gotta rip off the Band-Aid, take that cash, even if it's pennies on the dollar, regroup those pennies and
go
deploy
elsewhere.
it someplace else.
Okay, dope. So I like to ask this question to a lot of business people that have been in the game for a long time. What's your biggest loss and how did you recover? Business-wise.
Oh, shit. Man. You see, I have to start this way.
Okay.
I'm a dude that I am an all-in kind of man.
Risk everything.
I'm all in, right? I am passionate. I am a Cancer. Shout out to Cancers.
It's cancer
It's
season.
Cancer season. Big up. And we are sensitive. We are emotional. We are loyal. We are.
Yeah, my dad's a Cancer.
Yeah, like. So I did some stupid things. And I'd like to say that in retrospect, I've learned my lesson. And hindsight being 2020, I wouldn't do those things again. But fuck it, I'd probably do it again. So, I mean, because look.
Like what sort of
here's the deal.
Yeah.
I gotta say it like this, okay? So when Black Lives Matter came out and all this stuff, right? And they had the knee on my man's neck, and he passes away, and all of a sudden, because of the pandemic, people saw
everything.
They saw our lives. Like Scotiabank, they just pulled the sponsorship of like Canada Hockey or something like that, saying, look, you guys got a lot of shit to sort out. But like, I played hockey. They've always had a lot of shit to sort out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because when they were calling us nigger, when they were spitting on our parents in the stands, they're still throwing bananas at us, depending on where the game is.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Calling gay players faggots, raping junior hockey players. Like, all of that shit is there, right? But we defend this great game, right? Because we So shout out for Scotiabank for for standing up and taking a stand. And finally, someone is putting their money where their mouth is. Because you can say something, but if you keep funding, there's really no lessons being learned. But finally, these are decisions that force people to think about the paradigm. And I'm like a Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm going to get back to my point, okay? but in all of that, right? My mentor, who I recommended to be a broker at RBC. And he is a badass broker. He's a black man. And since I left RBC in 2002, there's not much change. It probably replaced me with one dude, right? Now, at the time that I was in the management program at RBC, right, I was the only black branch manager from Newfoundland to British Columbia.
Oh, jeez. The whole of Canada.
And my first event was rookie night. And you bring in all the new class of rookies and all the executives there, and it's black tie affair and tuxedo and everything, right? And one of the rookies instinctively, I'm his boss. And that was an awkward meeting the next day. But handed me his drink. Here, sir, I'm done.
Whoa.
Because...
That's disrespectful.
But no, that's just life. He didn't mean it to be disrespectful. He has grown up that a black man in a tuxedo at a formal event has to be the waiter. He did not see manager.
Yeah.
But how could he? Because I was the first one. So, the man who hired me, one day I hope to be able to sit down and talk to him, because he took a huge risk in hiring me, and we haven't spoken since I left RBC, and I went through some hellish things. But it precipitated a tough exit to the brokerage industry for myself. Bygones be bygones, and I'm not gonna delve into it. But the irony was, I was the #1 recruiting manager for more than one institution. And the irony is that the guy I was supposed to work with, but I never got a chance to work with because he got promoted. So I then entered this jackass, and that guy was it was just awful. The guy I ended up having to work with. Well, that guy is now like one of the top 5 guys at RBC.
Oh,
and he was a wonderful man back then, and I'm sure he's a wonderful man right now. But he called my mentor and said, how can we get more blacks in our organization? And I often thought to myself, well, you shouldn't have let this one go. But anyway, when being called a nigger, when being disrespected, I just couldn't turn the other cheek. And that led to a long, circuitous route. I just couldn't take shit.
Yeah.
And ultimately not being able to take shit cost me my $1 million a year business. Because the black guys that I did know, and I want to shout out man like Ross Ferrier, who's now a successful black branch manager at CIBC Wood Gundy. I want to shout him out big time. Enough respect, my youth. Right? But he a little lighter than me, and you know, he tall.
Yeah.
And probably more handsome. And just like, you know, like, and he, like, I mean, he just, because I'm me, right? And I can't be you. But my black guy just, but you're making so this money, just
honestly, I would be on your side, to be honest.
Why do you want to be a manager?
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm a leader. I was born to lead, right? I was born to lead. My mother, R.I.P., she told me from birth, you are here. You are a leader of men and women. And so, you know, with that being my calling, I felt emasculated every time a black man looked me in the face and said, why do you want to risk? You can golf 3 times a week. You can and you can just quietly make $1 million a year. And you see, what burned me?
Yeah.
He's my mentor, who is as talented as they come. He chose that path.
I see now.
And he is far superior to 90% of the leaders they have in that company, and he defers before God so that he'll be left alone. And so when I tell you that, look, in the end, I had to sell my business, and there's a backstory, and there's technicalities, and there's all kind of bullshit, and oh my God, like, you know, it was a shit show.
Yeah. But not every dollar is a good dollar. That's how I see it.
But if you ask me, fuck it, I'd do it again. Well, I tell you, I'd do it again. I would do it again because I'm not taking shit. And I'm telling you, like, look, so I was 40 years old and I said, my name is Stephen Conville, and I reserve the right not to work for or with an asshole. And if you are a recovering asshole, a born again asshole, a wannabe asshole, a sort of asshole, a kind of futuristic asshole, an asshole in waiting, a relapsed asshole, I do not want to work with you or for you. And I'll tell you, at 30 years old, 32 years old, Executive of the Year, that year, I think I made $600,000.
Wow.
I was clearly a millionaire at that point.
Wow.
And my blood pressure was upper normal. Golfing 2 days a week. I had season tickets to the Raptors, season tickets, full season tickets to the Raptors, quarter season tickets to the Leafs. You know, I mean, like,
all the perks,
all the shit, all the shit. And my blood pressure was upper normal. Doctor said, hey, you're going to get a hold of this,
or it's over soon.
or we're going to have to start putting you on that medication. He because I was dying inside. I was an emasculated man.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am now, working 18 and 7. LL Cool J would say, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Yeah.
But I can work for days and smile because I love it.
And it's in your own environment now too.
It's my environment, and
Mm-hmm.
you try to treat people the way I always wanted to be treated. Sometimes it gets me in trouble because people take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, why I'm in cannabis, because whatever your faith is, whether you're Buddhist, Taoist, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, or just believe in the universe as a special place to be, everything I went through was to prepare me for this journey, which I was meant to do. This is my calling. This is my passion. I am as good as this as I ever was at managing money.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really fucking good at managing money.
I know, I did my research. I see.
So it is without question where I was meant to be. And there's some man that, if I see them, I would punch them in the face. But I am telling you, God has me separated and happy. And it's something that I know I was destined to do. And so how did I recover? There never was a choice. My shoes are far too nice to go hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I remember T4ing at 787,000.
Jeez.
And the next year making nothing. 12 months, $0. It is what I try to teach the young people who reach out to me. People reach out to me on Instagram. I try to answer every single last one of them. People, reach out to LaShonda on social media. Shout out to LaShonda. And she's done an outstanding job of bringing the community together.
Dope.
Shout out to Harvester. You got to talk to them people, those brother and sister team. They are Black and they are doing it.
Dope.
But there's some young people too trying to come up and do their thing, and they are all welcome as they pass through these doors. Some of them stop in weekly, some of them stop in bi-weekly, some of them stop in monthly. But I got Zoom calls lined up, like when I don't have time to see these young people. But what I'm trying to let them know is, as long as you're not dead, keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Failure has never been an option.
Mm-hmm.
This company cannot fail.
Mm-hmm.
This company will not fail. I do not have the luxury of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people depend on me.
Mm-hmm.
Not just my own family, but down to my workers' dog and then cat. I would feel horrible if they went hungry. And that's why, as my mother taught me, it's something that I try to make sure, and I'm going to gender update it. Every young Black person who meets me hears from me. Heights of great people, reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night.
Mm-hmm.
You may be from a richer family, you may be from a richer neighborhood, you may be younger, you may be faster, you may be stronger, you may be smarter, you may be wiser, you may be taller, but you can't outwork me.
Bars.
When you line up, and I take this one from Kobe Bryant, when he said, when you line up against me, I'm there to let you know you made the wrong career choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to make him question why he chose to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he's thinking about another NBA player. He's not down at the why.
Yeah.
And that's how I approach every single day. We have a relentless pursuit of excellence.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the way you are, you can get knocked down 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times. You're going to get up. Richard Branson, I'm sure he's had fucking 50 businesses fail.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that guy, former president of the United States. Everybody knows Donald Trump is a jackass. But the one thing I can tell him,
Good businessman.
I don't know if he's a good businessman, but he's a determined son of a bitch.
Yeah. Facts.
He does not let Trump steak failure, Trump university failure, Trump this fit. He don't care.
Yeah, he keeps going.
He keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
And so my biggest fucking mess is probably going to create my biggest success.
Dope.
That's what I got for you.
Dope. So this is a question that I ask everybody on the show. And you don't have to say any names, but I want to know, what's the best advice that you've gotten and what's the worst advice that you've gotten?
So I just recited for you.
Yeah, the bar. That's what I thought too.
And that was from my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But why it's so important is because from 3 years old, she made me recite that. To the point where it's
embedded,
woven in my DNA.
Mm-hmm.
You can't outwork me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being at an event one time. The event was in my honor.
Mm-hmm.
And the waitress looked over and said, This is the third year you guys have been keeping this event. You know what I notice? You're never celebrating at your own birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took it in. You're here working. I said, yeah, I'm working. They're spending my money.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having a good time on my behalf.
Mm-hmm.
But I got shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only time me and that lady have spoken.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like it hit her.
Like, he's different.
He's not popping bottles.
Yeah.
People are popping bottles on his behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his game face on. As soon as the big sign come out with the name and everybody, hey!
Yeah.
Now everybody knows I was there.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm at a table working.
Mm-hmm.
You can't outwork me. And the thing about it is that I'm an old school cat. So I have no problem saying as a man, I am wired
Mm-hmm.
to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere, somehow, in certain segments or pockets, that message has short-circuited, it's been wired out, and whatever.
It's getting diluted.
But if as far as I'm concerned, if you're a man and you are under the age of 40
mm-hmm.
and you are not working 65 hours a week,
mm-hmm.
you got shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
You got shit to do. And you'll be surprised. Because I hired a couple brothers and I just didn't get a chance to give it to one of them today.
Yeah.
Because you're not working.
Yeah.
You think you're working hard,
mm-hmm.
but you're not working hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that advice that my mother gave me, I remember there was a staff member or something that they had somebody had a laser tag or something, birthday party or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I showed up. I can't remember why I was at this laser tag or something, right? But I'm at the thing, and people were recalling how they had never, like, I'm the oldest guy there by like 20 years, and I'm in full commando. Like, I am like I am fucking winning this shit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm competing. I am working in this laser game. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm crawling on my belly. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the rolls, and the shooting, and this, like, and like, that is something that from my mom, I can't say anything but thank you. Mm. And I know she's up there and she's like looking off her gun finger and just like, she wouldn't do that. She was quite the lady. But you know what I mean? She's up there and I feel her presence. Mm-hmm. And the thing about advice is I try to learn something new every day. Mm-hmm. Even a jackass can say something
that you can learn from.
Mm-hmm. And so there is no bad advice.
Oh, interesting.
There is just bad processing of the information you've been given. Mm. You know the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. You know when advice is good.
Mm-hmm. Your intuition tells you to.
But oftentimes, if you are looking for the easy way out, you will follow bad advice. But even bad advice can give you an insight of what not to do.
True.
And so I have a thirst for knowledge. I have a quest for knowledge. So it doesn't matter if it's you ever see that? You ever seen Ride Along?
No.
So Ride Along is with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Okay, so Kevin Hart is a jackass in the movie.
Yeah.
And he's this overdone,
Yeah.
over the top character.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube has a saying that's Ride Along 1, Ride Along 2 is you always talk shit. And every time you're giving advice, it's a nightmare. And 9 out of 10 times, it's straight bullshit. But that 10th time, brilliance. And so it's a discipline to filter through advice that is bad and hang on to advice that is good. But if you are judgmental of advice, you will miss a lot of opportunities to achieve greatness. And so,
Jeez, I like that. That's the first time I heard that one.
even a fool can change your life with some wisdom. It's just really up to you to screen what you process. And I'm telling you, doesn't matter who you are. It does not matter who you are. And I'll tell you, this is like Michael Jordan. You know, he had bad footwork. Call Hakeem Olajuwon, fly out, learn that guy's footwork.
Kobe did that too.
Kobe, you know, like so if you want to be good, take advice from anyone if they have
What you need.
what you need. And that's what I can say.
Dope. That's the first time I heard that. I appreciate that. Before we wrap up, can you let everybody know where they can reach you and your contact information?
So the best way to reach me is through our social media. On Instagram, it's at Kronic Relief TO. And we got, I'm dating myself, but we got LaShonda on the ones. We got her on the ones and twos.
Yeah.
And if you want to know what the ones and twos are, every DJ needs a set of Techniques 1200s
Yeah.
and the Scratch Master in the center. And then you're on the ones and the twos. I'm sure there's a computer now that does all that stuff. And like, all right, okay, fine. But, you know, and Kronic Relief's LinkedIn, if you're a LinkedIn person, Kronic Relief's Facebook, if you're a Facebook person, Kronic Relief's Twitter, if you're a Twitter person.
TikTok? Soon?
The problem with TikTok is they have a really
marijuana. You wouldn't even last on it, to be honest.
So unless you want to, you know, listen, I'm 49 this summer, so I'm going to be 50 next July.
year.
So unless our TikTok is just me doing sit-ups to try and get rid of this COVID belly, because I'm going to be fit at 50. I'm telling you right now, I'm not fucking around. That's another story. You know, TikTok is a write-off. But if you write into any of those platforms, what you're going to find is, you know, a very receptive person. And, you know, as I said, I work hard, I work a lot, but I will find a way. And, you know, if I can help people make sound career choices or even stock tips, you know, I will help our mans. I will help our mans. I will, you know, and that's it. So, I mean, me personally, I enjoyed our time together.
Thank you.
I've done everything from CNN to BNN to all of them things.
Yeah.
And this has definitely been one of the most fun. And I hope that our people are able to gain a few nuggets.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, I am happy to be part of this little movement thing you got going on. So
I appreciate it.
Big up yourself and big up your man over there, Royal Soldier in the background. You know, ratings, well, you know what I'm saying. And, you know, because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You the pretty face in the front, but there's a man in the back. You know, he's bad.
That's what I always tell people. Like when they ask, like, "Oh, I thought it was just you." I'm like, "No, but he's just as important as me." Like all this work here, like that's just I couldn't be here without that.
Yeah, man, and he's not so bad too. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. So respect in every aspect, and you know, I'd love to give you like a little tour.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can just see how the trees be.
Yeah.
They're my passion, and I have no doubt that when you leave, you're gonna be like, wow, them some things. That things. So yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, dope. Episode 24, Black is the New Rich. That's a wrap.
Everything black on black. If I studied that facts on